everyone, my name is Advan and I'm going to be showing you how to use the CNC and generate your G-codes using the CAM plugin. So first you have to make your sketch, so I'm just going to quickly make one. Start from the origin, just go 2 inches by 2 inches, enter. Going to be making a 2-inch cube, 2 inches, enter. And when you make your sketch, you want to make sure that you're making your sketch on the front face, because that's the side it will be, when you go to your setup later, that's the side it will be picking, so you don't have to change anything else. So 1 inches by 1 inch. Okay, dimension that in the exact center, so 1/2 inch from the top and 1/2 inch from the side. Okay, finish sketch. Extrude, cut, 1/2 inch, 1/2, and there you go. Okay, so now we have to set up our cube. So just click on the CAM part right next to the tool, and click on setup right here, and see how it automatically selects the front face of your cube as your Y being like facing away from you, your X facing to the right, and Z facing upwards. That's the way you want it to be. And you can click here to change where your zeros are going to be. So since it's a cube and it's symmetrical on all sides, you want to keep it in the center. So when you go to the machine, your zeros should be exactly in the center. And this here, you want to don't change anything, don't mess around with any of that, because since we made our sketch on the front, we don't have to change anything. And change the stock. Well, this here is the stock that you'll be getting. Say if your stock is bigger than what you've modeled, then you'll just enter here, but since the stock is relative to the size of my box, I'll just add no additional stock. Over here you can call it whatever you want. I'm just going to leave it at that. Press OK. And now this is where we create our toolpath. So for this here, it's best to use the 2D pocket. Just click on the pocket, select your tool. You can click on that, click on by type. Most of the time we'll be using a flat mill for cutting and squaring. So I'll be using a 1/4 inch flat mill. So first select. Okay, now click on the second tab over here and select your geometry. So I want to cut that section out, so click on that and click on this, just leave that alone, and click on this. Here you want to add, you want to check off multiple depths, because you don't want to cut 1/2 inch at one time. Just leave that alone. Okay, and yeah, so make sure multiple depth is checked off, and go back to the first part where you selected your tool. Change the coolant to disable, because we won't be we'll just leave the coolant on like permanently. Yeah, we'll leave it on ourselves. So you want to change the speed to 3000 RPM and decrease the feed rate so the bit doesn't break. Yeah, just decrease all of them to 20, or half of what they were. Oh, okay. Delete. Okay, and you should be fine. Yeah, that's okay. And just let it generate your toolpath. Okay, there you go. And to see what your toolpath, what it created, you can press the simulate button, and it'll show you. You can turn on your stock, turn it on, and just run it. So this is what it's going to look like once it's done. So you can see how it's slowly starting to cut, and it cuts away. You can hover over this to it'll tell you the machining time. As this one's going to be 4 minutes and 18 seconds, you can also click on it to move fast, like fast forward, and this here's fast forward. Past that center, it's reverse, and you can just skip ahead. Oh, okay. well, one thing you may have noticed is that I've made a square, but I'm getting a filleted edge. That's one thing you want to keep watch for, is the CNC won't be able to have an inside corner like this. So if you have that inside your drawing, you should change that, because it's just going to give you a rounded edge instead. So I might as well add the fillet myself. Add one there. One there. There. And there. Change the radius 0.5. Half an inch. Oh, that's a circle. Interesting. Okay, decrease that. 0.125. And I'll just leave it as okay, 0.125. So now, when you go back to cam, so each time you make a change, you'll see that there's an X in front of the 2D pocket. Just double click on it, go to the edit, and just press OK. It'll just regenerate the code, or the toolpath. And then to make sure everything's fine, you can just go back to cam, press simulate, and there you go. Now, how you want it to be. And if you notice, see how this here is all green? If you notice anything red, like a red bar, that means there's something wrong with it. That means the bit is going to crash into your stock if you're working with more complex models. So you can just fast forward, and it creates your curves. So if you had an inside corner, that would not work. So you probably should change that. Okay, press close. Okay, so now time to send it. Now time to generate your G-code. So click on the post process sheet once you're satisfied with your design, and just click on the post process sheet. And just once it loads, you need to select the right milling machine. I mean the CNC that we have. So the CNC that we have is a Tormac. So just click on that. You can name it whatever you want. Test. And the extension is going to be a tap.nc file. For now, just leave it as tap. Select the folder you want to save it to. I'll just save it there. Okay. And press post. Okay, save. Yes. And it should, your G-code should pop up. So there's a couple of things that you need to get rid of in your G-code, because it's just weird. It generates things that you do not need. So just bracket out the things that I tell you to. There will be a sheet posted up on the CNC on the window, so you can double check. So M998, just get rid of this. Putting it in brackets does the same thing. Is like the same thing as just deleting it. So you can also delete it, but I'm just gonna leave it in. I'm just gonna put brackets around it. It does the same thing. Anything in brackets, the machine ignores. M6, you don't need that. Just get rid of it. T1, that's a tool change, but our machine does not have a tool change. Get rid of that. What else do we not need? Okay, scroll down. M9, that's coolant on. Just turn that off here, because we'll just turn it on manually on the machine. So turn that off. And scroll all the way down to the very bottom. And there's some more. Okay, M9, turn that off. We're just going to turn the coolant on ourselves manually. G28, you want to get rid of that. That's return to stock. Return to a certain point, which on our machine, for some reason, it is way underneath the machine, so just get rid of it. You don't need it. Okay, and double check you have everything. Oh, right here it says return machine 0. So just get rid of that. G28. It's been causing a lot of problems, and main reasons why bits have been broken. So you want to just make sure, check your program again, get rid of the get rid of this here, get rid of the G28, M6, T1, M9 at the top and also at the bottom. All the way down to the bottom. G28, just get rid of them. You can also see if there's a tool change, you can just press find. There is no tool change because I commented out already. So, yep. And just press file, save as, and make sure you save it as a tap.nc. So you want to make sure you click on the iso.milling file and then just press save. I don't want to replace it, yes. And that's how you generate your G-code. All you have to do now is just go to the computer on this CNC machine and open up the tap.nc file. Remember, tap.nc.
Today I'm going to be showing you how to set your zeros.
This is the program.
Right
this
there.
thing right here. Right over here. Alright.
So you click on that, you open it.
And you click open G code. And you click on your whatever USB drive and you open the one that was yours. Mine's called Dice Baby.
So that's what he decided to name it, so
and
just
then
click on it. Make sure it's a tap.nc file.
Or you can click all files and then whichever one works. So it's usually these ones. Tap. Yeah. Dot tap. I just use dot tap. This one.
Yep, okay, just press open.
Dice baby.
Let it generate.
And you want to change code. Right now I already changed it, but over here you're going to have M998. You want to delete that line. At the top you're going to have
a bunch of strings.
Whatever, just delete that.
Yeah, everything in brackets you can get rid of.
And then right over here, I believe, you're going to have T5 and H5. You want to delete that. That's for tool chain, and that's pretty much it. You head down, you make sure it's all G-code, and it doesn't look like crazy bullshit. Go to the bottom. Was there anything we changed at the bottom? I think we delete coolant off, yeah.
Yeah, coolant off, M9.
Yeah, M9. M9 is coolant off. You'll probably want to take that off because you're going to set it off manually over here. Emergency stop right here. When you want to turn it back on, you twist it back on. You start for the computer as well. This is cooling off. Okay, where you want to turn it on?
No, just
we'll do it later. And this is don't click this. Just don't click it, man. Don't do it. Don't do it.
And don't mess with anything else.
Alright,
okay, just press OK, save, close. And now, to control where your spindle currently is, you can use the arrow keys
and page down, page up, going up and down.
Yeah.
So for example, here we go. I'll use these left and right.
Left and right, and as you can see, it's
moving forward and back
and right.
And then there's page down, page up, down, page up. Now we're going to set the zeros.
So you want to set the zeros to at the same spot where you set your zeros when you were doing your drawing. So what you want to do is bring your bit as close as possible to the piece, get a sheet of paper, and you want to keep moving the bit closer until it touches a sheet of paper, until you can no longer move it.
When it gets too close, you want to turn it to jog mode.
So as you can see, show them where jog mode is.
Jog mode's right over here.
Yeah, just click on
jog mode.
Click on that button.
That way you don't completely slam the bit into the thing.
Yeah.
That's good.
So now you can see it only moves very little at a little bit at a time.
That would stop.
Yeah. So just keep moving it until you can no longer move it. Move the paper. Once the bit touches the paper, you can stop.
Stop?
No, just keep going.
The close?
Almost. Keep going. Keep going. Oh, okay, stop. Okay, so right there.
Right there or one back?
One back? Go one back? Yeah, see how it's not moving, it's just turning around that point. So now you can reset the zero.
What was that? That was X value.
Yeah, that was the X value. So reset.
And you want to make sure you bring it outwards, not into the bit. Take it out. Take it away.
Away from it. So now now the edge of the bit is touching the block, but we want the center of the bit to touch the block. So what we have to do is type in the code G0X0 after you bring the bit up. So once it goes to 0, it doesn't smash into the cube. So just type in G0X0 and then 0.025.
That'll bring it directly to the edge.
Yeah, because this bit we're using it's 0.125, and if you bring it down, yeah, bring it down a little. Make sure you press escape. And now you can see that the center of the bit is aligned with this side. So now you have to do that for all sides.
By the way, guys, if I come here first tomorrow,
Well, we probably move it in 1 inch.
Pardon?
Move it in 1 inch.
Yeah, and because since we our zeros was 1 inch, because it was in the center, we're gonna move it over 1 inch.
X1.
So G0, X1. And then now zero it, press the 0 button. Okay, so now you want to do the same thing for the Y. So same thing, put the sheet of paper in. Nope. So right now, since it's not really close, you can just keep it in continuous mode and keep moving. Yeah, keep going. Okay, now stop. Since now it's pretty close, change it to jog mode. And Just slowly keep moving the paper until the bit touches. Come on, start faster. Okay, stop. Right there. So now I can no longer pull the paper. And then
Move it away. Make sure you move it away. When you want to change it off jogging mode, bring it up. Want to do the same thing? G0, Y 0.0625.
0.0625 because that's half the bit.
Done. And then set that as 0.
Wait, sorry. Now,
Put it Y0. Y0 now.
I just put Y0 since we moved it 0.625, which was half
Y.
our bit size.
1. Now we move it in 1 inch.
Yeah. So now you moved it in 1 inch,
That's the direct center of the block.
and then just press 0 again.
0. Go.
There you go. That's how you zero your block.
And now for the Z value.
And the last one, the Z.
The damn Z value.
So what you do, you keep bringing it down. Okay, keep going, keep going, keep going. Okay, stop. Okay, now change it to jog mode if you're not already in jog mode. And same thing, just keep moving the paper until you can't move it. There you go, right there. And then reset the Z value. 0.
Make sure you move it up, not page down. If you move page down, it's over.
Yep.
It's over.
And there you go. Now you have your zeros set.
G0, Z1. Away from, or 2. Let's make it 2. Z2. And you want to set this as 0, just for testing. So when you run the program, it won't completely screw up the block.
just to test, make sure your bit doesn't, like your bit spins up and there's nothing.
So all the values are 0. The bit is above the block. Make sure that is above the block. If you want, you can check your code one more time. Look good. Hopefully it runs. All right, let's click start.
Okay, and then you just press machine OK, so you do not have to press the reset button.
When you do press restart, it will stop whatever it's doing, and you have to press it again in order to be able to do whatever you're
Yeah, so
doing.
if you mess up, just keep your cursor always on the reset
Yeah.
button.
And then if you want to start again, okay, so when it messes up, click stop. And then when you're ready to go on, you click start, and then you change up whatever you want. Click cycle start again. There's program reset. You can only use program reset when it says machine OK. So right now, program